Nebraska, a winner. 42-17 the final. As the Cornhuskers close out the 9th undefeated and untied season in the history of Nebraska football.
The 1-2 again.
Welcome to M&M Sports Podcast number 58. Tonight we're going to talk about the Huskers, hard-earned, hard-fought win over a scrappy Northwestern squad. And we'll, of course, touch on some NFL as well and get everybody up to date on where the baseball playoffs currently stand, Brian. The World Series, that is.
As far as the Huskers go, Eric, a win's a win.
Yes.
We're not we're at that point where beggars can't be choosers, right?
Right.
We've struggled mightily for the last couple decades. Okay, so Saturday we hit that 6-win plateau.
Mm-hmm.
We become bowl eligible, which is great.
Right.
But as we have talked, that's not our goal, right?
It is not.
We got to move beyond that.
But most players, on this current roster know what Nebraska's done in recent history, and I'm hoping that 6 wins, getting that in their heads, they think, all right, we got to the minimum, pressure's off. We're playing with house money from here on out, and go out and play that way. Play a free and easy style of football, but a smart style of football at the same time. You can do both.
Yep, I agree. Sometimes that number is sitting in your head, as a player especially.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there is a lot that rides on that number. But once you reach that, like you said, you're kind of playing with house money now.
Right.
Where's the season go? We got what, 4 games left on the schedule?
Yep.
USC, UCLA, Penn State, and Iowa.
That's right.
We could be looking at as high as 10 wins. We could be looking at as few as 6.
The way I view it is all 4 of these games, every one of them is winnable.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? You can also go out and lose all 4.
We could.
I mean, they are.
We've seen that.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no big advantage one way or the other, really. A lot of teams that were similar to, I would say, since UCLA kind of got rejuvenated, as the season went on with their interim coach.
Yeah, before the season started, I think we all agreed Penn State was that was
right.
That was going to be a game we chalked up as an L.
Yep.
But all of a sudden, not only is that game in play, but I fully expect us to be in this game to the very end. Whether we win or lose, I don't know, but this is not a game that should be decided by very many points.
Exactly.
So, excuse me, at 6-2, entering the last 4 games, what is necessary in your opinion? What will it take for you to not be disappointed?
2-2.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's 8-4.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking along those lines after the win the other day. I kind of thought, okay, 4 games left. What would I view as a successful last 4 games? And I think 2-2 is about right. I
think that's realistic.
You have 2 road games, you have 2 home games, and we just talked about how Penn State has now become a more winnable game for Nebraska, but UCLA now looks like, at least there's a chance that we may not win if we don't play up to our potential.
Yeah, we better be ready to play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then Iowa, we know how that's gone in recent years. We want that to change this year, starting now, obviously. And USC coming to town as a 6.5-point favorite. I view that as a winnable game.
Absolutely, yeah. And we kind of talked earlier.
And I'm sorry, Brian. No. I like the fact we're in that underdog role. Actually, getting 6.5 points.
Yeah,
I don't mind being in that role. Yep.
I think that should be a motivation for these players when they step on that field Saturday night. To you're not given anything.
Right.
Everything's earned. We have not earned a win over a ranked opponent since 2016.
Right.
We have never beaten USC, which I did not realize that fact until just this week. I had never realized that. So, and really, that means nothing because this isn't a team that we have played year in and year out.
Right.
This is a new group of kids who they have no affiliation to the 05 team, the 06, 07, the 1970 team, whatever. Like, they have no affiliation to those. So that record really doesn't matter. As fans who have followed the program for the last half a century, yeah, it means more to us to beat UCLA just so we can say we finally got a win than it probably does these kids.
Yes, well said. You want to go back and touch on this Northwestern win?
Let's do it.
Early on, Emmett Johnson gets Nebraska off to a nice start with a 9-yard rushing TD to put Nebraska up 7-0. Northwestern counters with a field goal with just over 3 minutes left to cut it to 7-3 heading into the second quarter. The only scoring in the second quarter was a field goal by Northwestern. 7-6 Big Red at half. We find ourselves in a defensive game at this point.
Yeah, I think not fully unexpected, probably.
Right.
Defense. I mean, the defense is kind of did their thing again. You know, we talked what they needed to do. Mm-hmm. That if they could limit Northwestern to somewhere in that neighborhood of 300 yards of total offense, that they would be in a good position.
Right.
But we just got to get the offense clicking, right?
Exactly. Get all aspects going at the same time, for sure. But yes, as low scoring as that first half was, we now know how things can change so quickly. Second half, exact opposite.
Yeah.
You're looking at you had 13 points scored in that first half. Second half, you had 35 points combined. So just like that, it turns into a bit of a shootout, so to speak, based on that first half and the lack thereof as far as scoring went.
Yes.
Kenneth Williams gets that second half off to a great start for Nebraska. Busts off a 95-yard kickoff return. Credit to, obviously, the guys blocking.
Oh.
In this day and age, a guy can return one, but wait, we see a flag. There's a flag.
Every time.
Yep, so credit to everyone involved in that play for executing, sticking their blocks. Kenneth Williams, he looks like he could win a 100-yard dash.
Yeah,
that dude can fly.
He can move.
He looks smooth out there.
Yep. And he's strong.
Yes.
There's a couple plays or a couple chances that the defense had to take him down on that. And some guys would have. They would have tripped up, but he was strong enough. He had his balance enough to continue down the sidelines.
Right. And then Isaiah Hunter with a 12-yard reception. One hell of a catch. Acrobatic.
Can't say enough about that kid.
Crazy good catch.
Yeah.
Raiola had a nice pass, but the catch was even more impressive, I thought, on that one.
I honestly, until I saw the replay, I questioned whether he was in.
Right.
It was so quick that, and then after seeing him drag that toe, I was like, man,
we're good.
This kid's the real deal.
Right.
Yep.
So at this point, Nebraska's up 21-6. What are you thinking, Brian?
Feeling awful good, right? I'm thinking, okay, here we go. Here comes that. We're going to step on their throat a little bit, right?
They wanted to keep fans interested, I guess.
Evidently.
Northwestern gets right back in it. At the end of the third quarter, 4-yard rushing TD by Caleb Kumaloff with just over 2 minutes left to cut that deficit to 21-13, and then Kumaloff busts off a 56-yard run where he looked like he just got lost behind the. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he was hiding. Like they couldn't see him.
Yeah.
But he's so big.
Just popped
I can't
out.
provide him. He's not a scat back.
No, he's not.
He got lost in the mix is what happened, and he lumbered down the field.
He did lumbered. I like that word because I can still picture him lumbering down the field. But, yeah, that's a play that shouldn't happen.
That was
but
all.
It just does sometimes.
That was absolutely on Nebraska's defense there.
Yeah.
For sure. He just...
Yep.
Yeah, they lost sight of him. They lost sight of the kid.
100% did.
Yep. They score, make the extra point, and just like that, it's 21. Yeah, Northwestern ends up going for 2 here. A Preston Stone pass to Hayden Elijah for the 2-point conversion. Gets this baby tied up at 21. Game on.
Yeah, not what we were expecting when it was 21-6, right?
Yep. So we're going, we got a fourth quarter battle on our hands now.
Here we go again.
Yes, here we go again. Nebraska fans having flashbacks to so many games in the past. Emmett Johnson, a 4-yard rushing TD with just over 2 minutes left, ends up being the difference. 28-21, Huskers win. Made it more interesting than it needed to be. How's that? And credit to Northwestern for hanging in there. That's what they do.
Yeah. They could have easily buried their heads in the sand when they were down there by 15 in the third quarter. They chose not to do that.
Right.
Emmett Johnson. This kid carried the ball 27 times Saturday. I believe the week before in Minnesota he had, 14?
Sounds right.
What happens when we give him the ball? Good things happen.
Yes.
He's capable of that workload. Mm-hmm. 22, 25. I think this was a career high 27 carries. Give the kid the rock. Good things are going to happen.
27 for 124 and 2 rushing TDs. Just over, he was at 4.6 carries.
I'll
where
take
he
that
was
all
at.
day long.
Yeah, stick with it.
Emmett Johnson now is one of 2 players in FBS with 1,000-plus yards from scrimmage this season. He is also 5th in the country in rushing, 837 yards. One more stat I want to throw out at you, Eric. With the resurgence of our special teams unit, bringing Coach Mike Eckler back, we are currently 3rd in the country in kickoff returns, averaging 31.6 yards a return. So, for years we kind of, I think, maybe didn't quite focus on the special teams.
Perfect description.
The way we should. We didn't spend the time or money in that regard, and we're already seeing the dividends that are being played. Granted, yes, we missed a field goal Saturday again. We still can't quite get that game solidified, but right. I'm telling you, we're light years ahead of where we've been in the past.
Hopefully, this game against USC, we're hoping everything kind of falls into place. Because it's going to take clicking on all cylinders to beat a quality opponent like that.
Yeah, but these wins don't come easy, that's for sure.
Exactly. Nebraska, what they have on this given day, looks like Raiola had the one INT, and Huskers also lost a fumble. Raiola ended up 16-22 for 141, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Penalty-wise, I think we did a good job of limiting those. Nebraska 4 for 39 and Northwestern 3 for 29. So a pretty clean
game.
Clean game in that regard. Turnover-wise against USC, you won't be able to afford to turn it over twice and get away with it against an opponent like that. So let's clean that up. Keep those penalties down, and I think we got a shot. What are your thoughts on this upcoming game against the Trojans? I'm going to bring up what they've done to this point.
Well, one thing I will say, just kind of going back a little bit to Northwestern, Eric, we did throw the ball downfield a couple times. They weren't completed, but we talked last week to give our running game a chance. We have to expand the field.
Keep that defense honest.
And I think we're definitely, we're definitely going to have to do that against USC. We know the Trojans like to throw the ball. Our pass defense, we're going to find out. We're going to find out how good our pass defense is.
Yes, for sure.
We're going to have to get some pressure up front. Without that pressure, if we give this guy all day, and I don't care how good your defensive backs are, they can't stick with the receiver that long.
With the caliber of talent USC has, you're exactly right. They have to get some pressure. Yep. They're going to have to send an extra guy or two every now and then. Yep. You're going to have to roll the dice once in a while in this matchup, in my opinion, for sure.
Before I give you what I think is going to happen, let's hear what USC's done this season.
USC first game of the year, Missouri State. They beat them 73-13.
As they should.
Yes, Georgia Southern, they defeated 59-20.
Yep.
At Purdue, USC wins 33-17. And then at home against Michigan State, they win 45-31. So they are off to a 4-0 start.
Okay.
At this point, they go to Illinois, face a pretty good Illini team, lose a close one, high-scoring game, 34-32. Come back and defeat USC. Come back and play at USC at home and defeat Michigan 31-13. And then they go to Notre Dame and they lose 34-24, and they currently stand at 5-2 coming into this matchup with the Big Red.
Solid record. Really, when you list that off, the only win that I look at their schedule and think like, oh, that was a good win is Michigan.
Yeah.
The others are fully expected.
Sure.
The losses to Illinois and to Notre Dame, not bad losses.
So about where you might expect them to be at this point.
Yeah, really. I mean, they've won the games that I feel like they should have.
Sure.
And they've probably lost the games that I would have guessed them to lose.
Illinois would have been, that 50-50 game.
50-50.
And if they lost by 2 points,
Yeah.
So that's exactly what it
And
was.
on the road.
Yes.
So
just about where one
Yeah.
would guess them to be. Who'd you take before the year?
Oh my gosh, I'd have to go back and look, Eric.
Okay.
I don't even remember. I think I took Nebraska
Okay.
before this season.
I know what I had. I had Nebraska winning this game at home,
Yeah.
and then going to UCLA and losing
it,
next game. So I'm going to stick with
that?
my prediction. I think we're feeling really good about ourselves getting to that 6-win mark. Coming in as an underdog, I think that might help. Just there's simply not as much pressure.
My heart tells me Nebraska's going to win this ball game, that we're going to find a way to win it.
Okay.
My head tells me we lose. So
Okay.
I've got it. As much as I hate to admit that, I think we drop this game.
How about a night game being just a slight advantage for us, possibly?
I mean, it definitely doesn't hurt us.
Right?
Yeah, I think all of that comes into play. The night game, the crowd. I think they're trying to do the blackout Saturday night. They'll have the alternative black uniforms. So all that comes into play for sure, and I think it's an advantage for us. I just worry that when that initial adrenaline burns off, that we're gonna make a mistake, whether it's a fumble or an interception that's gonna cost us. And our offensive line is beaten up. We know that. That can't help us. But I still think it's close.
Right.
I think it's a one-score game.
Okay. So this is one of those rare occasions where I'm going to have Nebraska winning and you're going to have them losing.
Yes, yeah.
That hasn't happened very often.
No, it doesn't. But
I'm going high scoring. I'm going to go Huskers 34-31. How's that? Huskers 34-31. Defeat the Trojans. Improve to 7-2. That's where I'm at.
I would love. For
That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
I'll take it. I'm not far off here. I'm gonna go somewhere in the neighborhood of 31-24.
Okay, so we're both looking at a high scoring game.
Yeah.
I mean, Vegas has that total right about 60, so they're obviously expecting points.
I think the Trojans will put up points, and I think we're gonna have to keep pace.
Exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I think they are going to score, so we sure as hell better.
And I don't see us sitting there with our tail between our legs. I think we're capable of scoring,
right?
And we will. So
it might be one of those, just good old fashioned shootouts. Possibly.
I think it's possible, and and I hope I'm wrong. We'll find out.
Yes. Okay, NFL. Jumping back to that Thursday game, Minnesota at the Chargers. Chargers dominated in this one, 37-10. Kind of flex their proverbial muscle in this one. Too much physicality for Minnesota. They just look like the better team. Carson Wentz, I mean, they're playing with their backup, Minnesota is, but let's just say They were playing with Sam Darnold of last year. Let's just use that for an example.
Sure.
They still weren't going to win on this given night.
No.
Chargers were on their game. It's that simple.
Yep, it happens.
Yep. Anyway, Chargers get a nice win, improved to 5-3. Moving on to this Sunday slate. Okay. Cincinnati with a great opportunity to move up in the standings. Brian, the Jets pull one out of the fire.
Yeah.
Bengals offense did what they needed to do and then some, putting up 38 points, but the defense, needless to say, let them down. The Jets steal one at the end. 39-38 at Cincy. That's a tough loss for the Bengals. Like I said, with Pittsburgh losing to Green Bay, the opportunity to gain ground was there, and they did not take advantage of it, getting outscored by the Jets 23-7 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they had that opportunity was there for them, and just laid an egg.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Flacco had a great game. Their offense, like I said, did what they needed to do.
They did what they needed to do.
Yep, that was just a bad loss for the Bengals. That's pretty much it.
Good for Jets
The
fans.
Jets break through with their first win.
Yep.
Houston defeats San Francisco 26-15 at home. San Fran could never really find their footing in this one. They were kind of disjointed from the start, and Houston picks up a quality win at home.
Yeah, it was a good win for Houston. I did not see that one coming.
Right. Baltimore, in a must-win situation, does exactly that. They defeat the Bears 30-16 to essentially keep their season alive, improve to 2-5 with very winnable games coming up.
And that division is a toss-up right now. So to say that anybody's out of contention at this point would be ludicrous.
And what was most impressive is Lamar Jackson did not play in this game.
Yep.
So Tyler Huntley steps in, fills in admirably for Lamar, gives him a little more time to recuperate, and he will start Thursday against Miami. Yep. Ravens are loaded and ready to make their run here. We'll see what happens over the next month. The opportunity is there.
It is there
for them in a division that is playing way down this year.
Absolutely.
Moving on to Miami defeats Atlanta 34-10. Kirk Cousins gets a start due to a Michael Penix injury, and things did not go well for him and the Falcons, getting annihilated by the Dolphins 34-10. A bad loss for Atlanta, needless to say. Buffalo goes into Carolina and rolls the Panthers 40-9. The Bills look like they're back on track, clicking on all cylinders again. Philadelphia rolls the Giants 38-20. A big win for Philly.
Giants are just kind of pulling away in that division right now.
Philly, you mean?
Or Philly, sorry.
Yep.
Yes, sorry.
Yes, Philly repays the Giants for that 34-17 defeat a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Got their payback. New England just keeps on rolling along. They throttle the Browns 32-13 to improve to 6-2, I believe.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
they're right there battling with Buffalo for the AFC East. They're saying we're not going anywhere.
No, and I don't think they are. They're going to be there at the end of this year. The Bills are going to. I mean, the Bills are good,
right?
But nobody's handing them this division.
Precisely. Tampa Bay with a kind of an ugly 23-3 win at the Saints, but who cares? Defense looked great. Offense was a little bit out of whack, but bottom line is they weren't in sync and they still win by 20 points. That means you got a good team. And they're still playing down some guys. Tampa Bay is looking very, very tough. They've yet to field a full squad this year, and they just keep winning.
You give up 3 points to your opposition, you got to feel pretty good about that when it's all said and done.
Exactly. And speaking of teams that just keep winning, the Colts roll over the Tennessee Titans 38-14. They continue to flex their muscle. Colts are looking as good as anybody right now.
I don't see anybody catching them in the AFC South.
No, if they keep this up, it'll be a done deal here before long. Denver rolls at home. They're red hot right now. Denver improves to 6-2. They're looking mighty strong in the AFC West. Defeat the Cowboys 44-24. Just kind of impose their will.
And we kind of talked about them early in the season that we thought, Denver was kind of a dark horse, that they had a lot going their way, and
yep.
They haven't disappointed.
They have a lot of playmakers. They have a coach, like we've talked about, in Sean Payton, that's been there and done that, won a title with the Saints, and they have a crowd that is about as energetic as any crowd. They really get behind them. They get that place rocking. Yep. Denver's looking really tough right now. In Green Bay, down at halftime, 16-7 at Pittsburgh. A team. Listen to this stat I heard. Green Bay hasn't won at Pittsburgh, Brian, since 1970.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm not sure how many times they've met, but obviously they've had to meet X amount of times in that time span.
Wow.
55 years. Last time they won at Pittsburgh. I couldn't believe that.
I would have never guessed that.
Anyway.
Wow.
They won on this given night. Down 16-7 at half. They come out with their hair on fire in the second half. Outscore Pittsburgh 28-9. I mean, to say they passed the eye test in that second half will be an understatement.
Sure.
They get, you look that good in a half, people are saying that looks like a Super Bowl team, but I would say, you need to see that on a more consistent basis. But Jordan Love, I think he completed like 16 or 17 passes in a row. They were just clicking. They were clicking like they haven't clicked before this year.
That first half, I think everybody was ready to anoint Aaron Rodgers as being back to his old self, and even he couldn't will the Steelers to that win.
Anyway, Green Bay with a nice win to continue on with the best record in the NFC to this point anyway. And then last night, Washington, in my opinion, made way too many mental mistakes and missed early opportunities against the Chiefs. And once they missed those opportunities, in my mind, even when it was 7-7, I thought this game's over.
Yeah.
You can't continue to miss on fourth down conversions or bypass field goals. You know what I'm saying?
If you give Patrick Mahomes and company that sliver of hope, they're going to bust the door down and come running.
Yeah.
You can't let them see any light. And, Washington failed to capitalize, and that Chiefs team, the Chiefs are playing really well.
They're as
right
hot
now.
as anybody.
Yeah.
And, I know Washington was without Jaden Daniels, but I'm not going to provide them with an excuse because they had receivers back, and I just didn't think they played a smart brand of football.
No.
Too many mistakes. So it'll be nice for them when he comes back. But they could have hung in there had they played a smarter brand of football. So I was kind of disappointed in their approach last night. We'll say, in the fact they got beat as bad as they did.
Yep.
Credit to the Chiefs. Washington 3-5. Their season is teetering right now for sure. Like we said, Chiefs are one of the hotter teams in the NFL, looking like the Chiefs do.
Yeah, if they're not able to turn something around real quick, their season's in the tank.
It's definitely spiraling right now for sure.
Yep.
Okay, Thursday we have Baltimore 7.5 at Miami. Lamar should be back. Yeah, Baltimore with Lamar coming back, Brian, 7.5 point favorite. Surely they roll Miami, you think?
I think they have to, right?
I would guess.
I think Miami had the big win over the weekend. I don't think that's sustainable for this Dolphins group, especially with Lamar coming back. I feel like they're going to have a little something to prove, and they are really with a win. If the Bengals were to lose, boom. Baltimore's are right back in the hunt.
They know,
bad as they are.
And obviously they know that.
Yeah.
They know exactly where they stand, what their schedule looks like. So, yes, they're not out of anything. With that win over the Bears, they keep their season alive, and they need to win this game, obviously.
And I think they do. Yep.
Bears 2.5 at the Bengals.
Boy. This is this is one of those games to where obviously, Vegas has it as a coin flip game, but I think Flacco and the Bengals at home will get the win.
And they need this one to avoid falling to 3-6.
Yeah.
This is one. If they win, they're still right there.
Must win, right?
Yep. San Fran 2.5 at the Giants. San Fran coming off that loss at Houston, and the Giants getting defeated by the Eagles.
I mean, if I was to pick a team here, I would like to think San Fran would have a little chip on their shoulder going into this game.
Right.
I think they're the more talented team, so I would go with the Niners.
Okay. New England 5.5 at home over Atlanta. I don't know who's going to be quarterbacking for Atlanta. That's kind of a big question mark. Whether Penix is back or Cousins gets another start.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's going to make a difference, but either way, I think I'd go with the Patriots.
Okay. Indy 3 at Pittsburgh.
Hey, can they stay hot? I mean,
they can. Pittsburgh should be disappointed in their second half effort against Green Bay. I'm going to say that provides motivation. I'll take Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll go with Pitt at home getting 3.
Okay. I like the Colts here.
Okay.
I think I don't want to maybe call them this, but I think the Steelers are kind of pretenders right now.
We'll agree to disagree on that one. Yep. Carolina rolls into Green Bay as a 13-point underdog. Give me Carolina. They just got blasted by the Bills.
Yeah.
I'll say
Carolina to cover
the 13. Yep. Minnesota at Detroit. Detroit 8.5. I believe McCarthy is supposed to get the start for the Vikings.
Well, I mean that should help them, but I think Detroit's just playing good football. I would go with the Lions.
This is a pass for me. Denver at Houston. Flip a coin. Pick them.
I'm going with the Broncos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Brian says his Broncos, that was his pick to win it. His team is the Raiders, just to clarify that.
Which they're quite possibly the worst team in the NFL this year.
But yeah, when we say, yes, he has one team he roots for, one team he picks. The team he picked was Denver. His team he roots for is the Raiders. Yeah,
realistically, I'm not I know the Raiders season is in the tank,
right?
And I'm not a Broncos fan, but I'm
hell intrigued. No, you're not if you're a Raiders fan.
But I'm intrigued by what they're capable of.
Well said. Chargers 9.5 at Tennessee.
Chargers.
Jacksonville 3 at Vegas.
A battle of bad teams. I'm going to give Vegas the nod just because they're at home.
Right.
Yeah.
Rams 13.5 at home against the Saints.
I mean, we know how bad the Saints are. Still, 13.5. That's a lot of points. I think I like. I think I'll take the 13.5 points.
KC rolls into Buffalo as a 2-point favorite. Go ahead and give me Buffalo.
Yeah.
And then if they play in the playoffs, you know who I'm going to take. Yeah. It's not going to be Buffalo. No. Same thing as last year. Give me Buffalo in the regular season. If they play in the playoffs, you can put me down for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Regular season game, I think Buffalo gets it.
Yep. Seattle 3 at Washington. Go ahead and give me Washington here.
Okay.
I'm looking for more of an inspired effort, a better performance. Give me, Washington plus the 3.
Yep.
And then moving on to Monday night, we have Arizona at Dallas. Dallas 2.5.
Well, Dallas is coming off kind of a butt whooping out there in Denver. I think they've got a rebound. I think, and they're at home. Give me the Cowboys.
Okay. You got our thoughts on NFL. Segueing to baseball real quick.
Yeah.
Brian, does Toronto still have a shot, or do you think last night with the Springer injury combined with an 18-inning loss, is that it? Going against a team that is better to begin with?
I mean, Toronto has played well. They've surprised me. That game last night, I wouldn't have wanted to say that it was must win for the Blue Jays, but to lose it in the fashion that they lost, that loss in 18 innings can just rip your heart out.
Right.
So I think at this point, I think the Dodgers have this series wrapped up.
Yes. Will it get back to Toronto?
Boy, that's a good question.
I'll say no.
I don't think so.
I think the Dodgers end it in LA.
Yep.
Okay, Huskers, big game versus the Trojans. Plenty of NFL action, and we'll root for Toronto to shock the world. How's that sound, Brian?
Well, the one thing is, I think we know in that World Series that the Dodgers have more talent, but the Blue Jays' effort has been phenomenal. Never been a Blue Jays fan, but they've earned my respect a little bit here.
Yes, for sure.
But yeah, it's a great week of sports shaping up. You touched on the Huskers. You touched on the World Series. Chiefs fans out there, big game this week with Buffalo. So, yeah, if you're a fan in this area, you got a lot to look forward to this weekend.
Absolutely.
And hopefully the Big Red comes out with the win. The Chiefs, if you're a Chiefs fan, hopefully they stay hot. Mm-hmm. They're playing great football right now, but they're going up against a team that's also playing great football. So
should be a good challenge.
Be a fun one to watch.
Yes, and for college basketball fans, that fires up next week.
Wow.
Well, we'll have a little bit more going at that point.
Hey, one more thing to watch, right? I'm never opposed to that.
Exactly.
Again, thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening, for tuning in. We will be back a week from today to recap last week's or this upcoming week's contest and give you a few predictions. As always, predictions are fun, right?
Yes, that makes it that much more interesting.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty bland and pretty boring if we just went through the games and didn't give predictions. And if anybody has a prediction, throw it our way.
Absolutely.
We love to hear from listeners and get predictions from, like I've said, other people other than Brian and myself.
Well, we'll be back here next week again. Thank you, and go Big Red.
You bet.